Okay, here is a method that you can use to make a square line with two circles coming off of these corners. The only thing you're going to need to do will be to make a mark somewhere. So I could make this at 8 inches. Put this where I'm not in the way. I could make this at 8 inches. This measurement over here would just have to be the same, 8 inches. Now, I have these two screws at 9 inches. And all I need to do is use a circle and then draw a line across it at these points that connect. So I'm going to come over here. I got a 14-inch space here. Try and get out of your way there. I'm going to just go at 9 inches. I'll go at 10 inches. 10 inches, circle, 10 inches, so we can see I have a point here, and again I'll go 10 inches down here, 10 inches, come over here and go 10 inches. And this you can see a little bit better, 10 inches. And then I simply draw a line through these 2 points here. But instead I'm going to use the square and just square it up. And you can see right there that that is a square line. So if I didn't have a framing square, all I would have to do was grab a straight edge, connect these dots, and this would be a square line here. Now let's go ahead and use a full sheet of plywood. Something like this could come in handy if you are going to be doing building foundations, odd shaped building foundations. Actually, I was going to make another video to provide you with a exterior building foundation that wouldn't have any 90-degree corners, and that would be difficult to create a straight line on the inside, but it won't be, or I should say some lines that you can use to have all of the interior walls square and parallel to one wall or perpendicular to it. So we're going to start off. Here's a square piece of plywood or OSB. Here is one with, we got some different angles. These are not 90-degree corners. But I wanted to start by showing you the circles already drawn, straight line, our 2 points. I believe these are 10 inches. It's a 10-inch radius. And then, of course, our line down the center. So this is what it would look like if you just drew 2 complete circles instead of just coming from here and then making a 10-inch arc, and then over here making a 10-inch arc to get the lines. So let's go ahead and start with a blank slate. Measure in a foot. Draw a straight line parallel to the edge. So 1 foot, 1 foot away from the edge. And then you can place your lines anywhere along here, as long as they aren't too far apart to where when you draw your circle, it's not going to be off of the plywood or the OSB. So for example, these are 16 inches apart. And if I drew them 40 inches apart and then had to draw a 20-inch or a 30-inch circle, you could see where I would be out here somewhere, and it wouldn't be good. So just keep that in mind. I mean, that will be one of those things that you, if you draw it, you're going to realize, okay, I got to move these things closer together. So here's our first circle, 10 inches. It's a 10-inch, this is the center point, 10-inch radius, 20-inch diameter circle. Another 10-inch circle. They've got to be the same size. So the crucial part to this particular idea is a parallel line from one of the edges, something that's straight. And then the lines here can be farther apart. This isn't going to matter, but the line needs to be parallel to one edge, and the circles need to be the same size. So if I had a 9-inch radius or an 11-inch radius, it would still work out because the lines would cross over where the line here would meet. So if I had a let's just say I had a 12-inch radius, and it took me out to about here, and this one here took me out to about here, I would still be on the line as long as the circles on each side are exactly the same. So there is our line that is perpendicular, 90-degree angle. So we got a parallel line from the edge, and then a line here that we could use if we wanted to as a guideline. So we could continue this line all the way up. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Continue it all the way up. And then all you would need to do would be to measure over here. So if this was 8 inches, you would just come down here and then make a mark from here, 8 inches, draw another line, and then you could cut that, and then you would have a square edge for your plywood. So anyway, this is just another tool to put in your home building toolbox there. And trust me, something like this might sound like a lot of work, but it can save you a lot of time and grief if you are starting out with lines that aren't perfectly flat, perfectly straight, or buildings that are wacky with no 90-degree angles on the outside, and you need to actually create 90-degree angles and parallel walls on the inside.